to pounding Piha Beach, the black sand, as we await race 1. There will only be 2 races because the surf is so big, and Michael Porra, a change to the course.
Yes, instead of the 3 races, there'll only be 2 today. The order there you can see on the screen is swim, ski, board, and they are 40 minutes long each, and that's about how long it's going to take. You can see there the line of waves, wave after wave after wave. It's swim first leg. When they take off, they'll run straight down the beach and into the swim leg around 1 turning buoy, and then the ski and the board are 2 turning buoys each, way out to sea, about 1 kilometre out to sea, just to get beyond the break. Now there's a rip, meaning deep water. That's why you can see the line they're angled at is at an acute angle. And there they go, the first race here today in round 5 of the Uncle Toby Super Series. Straight away they're headed off down the beach, because that's where the rip is, that's where the deep water is. The only chance these guys have got of getting out through these waves is to go right next to the cliffs, right next to the rocks, and let the rip suck them straight out to sea.
There is a sweep that just takes them right out. You'll see a headland on the left of your screen shortly as they get over the breakers here. There is just lines of white water in front of them. Guy Leach, Ironman Racing, and you've got to be every inch of that even to get out the back today.
That's right, I'm quite happy. I meant to be on ski can today, but the boys took a boat and they said, Leachy, we don't want you out there. It's too big, too dangerous, so I'm up here with you guys. But as you can see with the guys going out, we see Trevor Hendy there. They're not going out at the same sort of pace they would in a normal race, just because the surf is so big. It's a day of good management, a day just conserving your energy for when you're coming in with those big waves.
Wall after wall of white water pounding them. They would have 800 metres of swim. A good 400 metres of that will be in the turbulent stuff.
We can see now they've already turned around from the helicopter shot. They've already turned around past that first rock, and they're now in what sort of an area here where the water is very, very deep. There's the prize money you can see through to 14th place, $75,000 in total on today's event. The prize money going right down to 20th place, and series points up for grab. Kane Houston we've already talked about, and Steve Pullen. They were 1 and 2 coming into this race today. They are out of the race. They did not make it through to the final. They were hammered yesterday in the heats, and those guys will drop back. The best they can finish after today's race will be 8th and 9th in the series overall, so it just shows you how close the series is this year.
That was Nathan Meyer leading the swimmers out, the world Ironman champion, who had such a great race in Glenelg. He is leading them out into this whitewater surge. You can see the water bouncing off the headland. It's going every which way. You don't only have to worry about the waves coming from the ocean. There's a backwash out there that's pretty fierce too, Leachy.
Well, that's right. I had to swim earlier today just to check it all out there, and what's happening is the waves are coming in the middle of the beach. The water pushes down the beach and goes out the southern end where the guys are right now. So what's happening there's water pushing out the back. The guys are using that to get out the back as quickly as they can. They'll round the buoy there in the swim leg, and they'll come straight back in the middle of the beach where the waves are pounding in.
So it's going to be very, very interesting. You'll see fairly shortly they're going to start hitting some of the big waves, and that's Josh Blair we can see on the screen centre there. No, it's Stephen King, in fact. Hard to pick up those cap colours. That's the 19-year-old from Tugun Surf Club, Stephen King. And he at this stage looks like he may well be the early leader, and he can see the rating is up. He's kicking quite well. Leachy, it is a day, obviously you've got to conserve energy, and look at him dive straight under. Just explain to us the diving technique under waves, particularly the bigger they get.
Well, it's actually, it is deep down that end there, but certainly not as deep as a lot of other beaches. So the guys will be going down as he's going down here under this little one. They go under the white water, which is pushing through to get away from that, pushed into the beach. And they'll go as deep as they can with the bigger white waters and try and grab hold of the bottom and crawl along the bottom, or if the actual water is pushing through too hard, they'll hang onto the bottom and not get dragged back into the beach.
Now you can see they're really in this rip. There's the headland right there. They're only feet away from the rocks, and the rip is just pouring them out to sea. Pretty soon, once they get out in front of this exposed headland, you're going to see some giant waves. You haven't really had a chance to see them yet. You'll see them shortly. All these guys were nervous coming into this race, all of them. They're in the rip at the moment. They'll turn around 1 turning can. That's Landara from Coogee, probably the strongest swimmer in the field. He's in the lead at the moment with Stephen King right behind him. Dwayne Thies well placed. Luke Watson's left of screen there with that white cap with the red dot on top. The yellow cap with the red star there on the right of screen. That's Nathan Meyer, and the world short course Ironman champion. That's where they're heading out to sea beyond those waves. Once they turn and come back, they've got two lots of waves to negotiate. That outside wave you can see top of screen, and then the thumping waves on the inside where you can see those couple of surfers are on the inside.
Look at the surge. It's a confused swell. It's all over the place. One thing for sure, though, it's every bit of 3 metres, and on the sets, it's pushing 4. It's a hard day out there for the Ironmen of the Uncle Toby Super Series.
Well, Stephen King at this stage, very impressive there. Leachy coming in there in second position. Today really is a day of courage. Trevor Hendy, you can also see there, blue cap, bottom of screen, blue cap with that white star on top, right next to Luke Watson. Very, very well placed. Not his strongest leg guy to have Trevor up there at this stage in fourth position. He'd be very happy with that. And Dwayne Thies also there in second or third. Could well be the day for Dwayne.
Also, Phil Clayton was there as well. It's a day where experience comes into play. Guys like Dwayne Thies and Trevor Hendy have been through this time and time again at places like Portia Beach, even at Manly in the first year. And these guys will use those to the best of their ability today.
Magnificent shots from our chopper. Piha Beach is just a unique stretch of sand. As we've said, the most treacherous stretch of sand in New Zealand, living up to its reputation today.
Stephen King there, the first to see the turning mark. You notice they went out in the rip. They've now taken a dead set right-hand turn. They are now swimming right across the beach. They're no longer going out to sea. They're swimming right across the beach. Big wave. Big wave. Oh, big wave. He's popped up the other side. Luckily, it's broken into deep water. And all of them have had to turn and dive back underneath. They're now looking for that swim can. Hard enough just to locate the swim cans out here, let alone negotiate these huge waves on the outside break. Let's see when they turn and come in. We're going to see some great action. More
drownings and more rescues at this beach than all of New Zealand put together. So this is one dangerous piece of sand. We'll take a commercial break and get back to the action. Round 5 of the Uncle Toby Super Series, pounding in at Piha after this commercial break.
Monday.
You are back in the whitewater at Piha, round 5 of the Uncle Toby Super Series, and everybody getting cleaned up around the buoy.
Oh, and they're having terrible problems getting around it. There's another huge set of waves, and it's just smashing into the... That's got to be a 10-foot wave. Look at the whitewater. Where's the buoy? The turning buoy's gone. It's been washed away. Oh, there's the mark, so they can still see the little orange mark, and there's some giant waves breaking around it. Look at the size of it. Now, the rubber ducky's getting in as close as it possibly can. Now there's confusion completely because the guys are just sitting there not knowing where to turn. Now, Graham Bruce is out there, and Graham Bruce is in that rubber ducky. He is the water marshal. He'll be screaming instructions to the guys, and now the rubber duckies are in a terrible place. There's Graham Bruce there in the orange wetsuit, calling out to the competitors as to what they need to do. He's telling them to keep swimming out to sea, and he'll call them around a turning buoy out here. He's on a loudspeaker out there yelling instructions to these guys. The biggest set of the day just came through and completely washed the swimming buoy away. Have a look at it. They're all looking around not knowing what to do.
And look at this wave building at the back too, every bit of 8 to 10 foot. I can tell you that they lost 7 anchors off the buoys yesterday, and it is bigger today. We only came with 17, so we've got to be very careful.
So just trying now to work out exactly what it is that they're going to do. Graham Bruce, as I said, belting out instructions to these guys. Some of them have started swimming back in, those that got around the turning buoy in the first place. Now there's Brucey again. He's about to drop this turning buoy out there, and he's yelling out to the competitors. So some of them are going to have to still continue to come and turn around him. Others are on their way back into shore, those that already turned the turning buoy.
So confusion and drama here. Graham Bruce trying to get a buoy down, and the competitors not knowing what's going on. The reason for it, have a look at all that white water as we check a replay of the big wave. 10, 12 foot. Look at the white water. There is 6 foot of it, and it just surges, and bye-bye buoy. Another anchor bites the dust, and the buoy is now on the sand. Have a look at the waves. This is breaking 800 metres offshore. This is the biggest surf we've ever seen in an Uncle Toby Super Series event, and confusion and drama, race 1.
You can see now some of the competitors coming back in towards that second wave area. There's a wave over here, you can see just building up for some of the competitors. No one yet been able to pick a big one out the back. Also notice the way the waves are heading across towards that other headland. They're coming in from the southwest. This beach faces dead west. And you can see there Luke Watson and looks like Glenn Cowder in the orange cap heading back out to sea, still going. Some of the other competitors coming back into the beach.